From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story, Alaska State Troopers say they've identified 3 individuals who vandalized Two Rivers Elementary School last month, stealing multiple items valued over $7,000.
Troopers say the suspects are 2 18-year-old adults and a 14-year-old juvenile, all said to be from the Two Rivers area. Troopers received video surveillance footage from the school district that's playing, which was provided to local media outlets. Soon after, troopers say they received multiple tips from citizens of Fairbanks, which led to identifying the 3 suspects. Troopers say they were able to recover multiple items that were taken from the school. Charges against the 3 individuals have been forwarded to the Fairbanks District Attorney's Office and the Department of Juvenile Justice.
North Star volunteer fire officials are investigating the cause of a fire that destroyed a North Pole residence Sunday afternoon. Firefighters responded to 2884 Freeman Road near Nordale Road just after 5 p.m. Homeowners say they were awakened by the sound of their smoke alarm and called 911. Upon arrival, North Star officials say they found heavy flames across the front of the home extending through the roof. North Star got mutual aid assistance from Fort Wainwright and Steese fire departments. The couple and their 4 children escaped the burning structure unharmed. The unidentified woman who owns a single-story home with her husband refused an on-camera interview with News Center 11, but did say the Red Cross was assisting them in finding temporary housing.
North Star fire officials are also investigating a fire that displaced a Moose Creek family and also killed a dog. At about 5:15 p.m. Saturday, firefighters responded to 3523 Hope Street in Moose Creek and found smoke coming from the 2-story residence. A small fire was found in the basement living room and was quickly extinguished. The occupants were not at home at the time of the fire, but returned to find the dwelling full of smoke. No injuries were reported. The Red Cross is providing assistance to the family and the home was insured.
The Alaska Redistricting Board will go back to the table Wednesday to work on a new map. The board will hold hearings and take public comment to develop a new plan. They hope to have a draft ready by June 21st and will begin finalizing it by July 8th. The Alaska Supreme Court ordered the board to redraw the map for the 2014 elections after allowing the 2012 elections to go forward under an interim map.
The Fairbanks North Star Borough has a little more time to prepare for another round of public hearings in regard to the future of the F-16 jets stationed at Eielson Air Force Base. Last month, Air Force officials released a draft environmental impact study which recommended moving the 18th Aggressor Squadron from Eielson to Joint Base Ellendorf-Richardson near Anchorage. As part of the process, Air Force officials must hold another round of public hearings to collect community input. The 2 meetings in the interior were originally scheduled for June 19th and 20th. However, the Air Force has now delayed the hearings until July 15th through the 18th due to requests made by Alaska's congressional delegation to give them more time to prepare their remarks.
We want to make sure our planes return, and having the fighters here for J-Park red flag exercises, and the Air Force is asking us to expand J-Park airspace, which I'm all in favor of. All these things just don't mesh, and it's like the right and left hand, and then there's another set of right and left hands, and it just doesn't make sense still. And that's the point that we're going to make in our public hearings.
The company who helped design the Ruth Burnett Sport Fish Hatchery has agreed to pay a settlement. The settlement amount is $2.9 million, and it is in regards to the state's claims that there are multiple flaws. The hatchery was scheduled to open in 2009, but was delayed due to issues with its water filtration system. The state blamed the designer CH2M Hill and the construction company Alaska Mechanical Incorporated for the delays in opening. As part of the deal, CH2M Hill dismissed its claims for more money from the state for additional uncompensated work it said it did on the hatchery. That work was estimated by the Department of Law to cost nearly $2 million.
All right, well, pretty cloudy out today, but not too cold.
No, not really.
But I'm not the weather woman. Mike Schultz is the weatherman, and he's joining us for our first look at weather. Mike.
It wasn't the greatest weekend. We had a lot of wind on Saturday, and then we had clouds yesterday, and we were looking at some rain, but it didn't come through. But the good news is we're looking at a definite weather pattern change that's going to bring temperatures back to the 80s again by Thursday, the way it looks right now. Right now, it's pretty chilly out there. 58 degrees at Delta Junction, 57 degrees at Fort Wainwright, Fairbanks, North Pole, and a little warmer at Eielson Air Force Base. To the west, 59 degrees in Unana and Denali Park at 61 degrees. And like I said, we're looking at warm temperatures, and they have a lot of warm temperatures in the lower 48. we'll tell you all about that with all the weather later on. Daryl, 70?
Very well, thank you, Mike. When we come back, the Affordable Care Act will be one of the topics of a new local lecture series.
And if these people try to get your goat, it's for a good cause. We'll explain later. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. A visitor to Denali National Park and Preserve shot a cow moose that allegedly charged him and his family. According to Denali spokeswoman Chris Pfister, on Thursday evening, the man who shot the moose was visiting the park with his 2 young children when the moose charged. According to Pfister, there was no provocation when the group was charged, and they did attempt to get away without harming the moose, which prompted the shooting. A park ranger fatally shot the wounded moose. Now the incident is still under investigation.
As part of its newly founded Healthy Living lecture series, the University of Alaska Fairbanks is focusing on the Affordable Care Act and other health issue care-related issues through a free lecture series this summer. Healthcare professionals from around the community are having discussions on topics ranging from navigating health insurance to violence as well as mental illness. The series, which began last week, has already opened with a great deal of fanfare. That's according to Clover Tiffany, Director of Public Relations with the Fairbanks Memorial Hospital. Discussions on the Affordable Care Act are slated for tomorrow evening, with Fairbanks Memorial Hospital Chief Financial Officer Jim Lynch acting as guest speaker.
This is something that Fairbanks Memorial Hospital has been trying to do more of in our community, is just outreach more to the community members, talking more about healthcare both clinically and all of the different very complicated parts of healthcare like insurance and the patient bill. These lectures with the university, the summer lecture series, goes into some detail, kind of opens the door to talking about these things, giving the public more information on these topics.
The lectures will each be an hour long, followed by a question and answer session. The Healthy Living Lecture Series will run each Tuesday through August 13th. Lectures will start at 7 p.m. in the Murray Building Auditorium across from the UA Museum of the North.
Fairbanks Neighborhood Housing Services kicked off its season this past weekend with Project Makeover 2013. It's done through a collaboration of residents and business leaders, government and nonprofit partners who work to revitalize neighborhoods and develop affordable housing for low and moderate income families. They offer all of the services and training a person might need to shop for, buy, and maintain a home.
We're starting off today and through the end of August, hoping to do about 25 projects this year, and that will be a record for us. We've been doing it for about 20 years. Eligibility is based on location. First of all, you have to be a resident of the South Cushman neighborhood or the downtown neighborhood. Those are our target.
Rain didn't dampen the spirits of those taking part in this year's annual Relay for Life event. The fundraiser to fight cancer ran from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday, during which about 1,500 people walked around the track set up on the UAF campus below the Patty Center. 79 teams took part, raising a total of $262,316. The relay has been a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society since 1985 and was started in Fairbanks 10 years later. The man who started the relay originally is a doctor of oncology in Washington State.
And he decided that he wanted to do something to raise some money for the American Cancer Society to give back to the patients that he had been taking care of. So he went and ran the track in Tacoma for 24 hours by himself that first year. And Gordy Klatt is the father of relay. Later on in life, in the last 2 years, he was diagnosed with cancer. And so he thinks it's more of an honor to have started something that now is saving people along with himself.
Fundraising is used by many charities, but one local organization is taking it to a whole new level. That's because Wednesday, during business hours, the Tanana District 4-H Teen Club is having a Get Your Goat fundraiser. That's right. They're planning to take one of 4 goats around to local businesses, and for a donation, you can either have the goat leave or you can send it to a friend's office. 4-H is run through the Cooperative Extension Service at UAF and focuses on teaching life skills to kids, not those kids. All money raised will go towards the club's programs. It is an easy process to have a goat visit a business.
It's by donation, so they can give us $1, they could give us as much as they want, you know. It all depends on the person. Well, if you want to request to goat being delivered to someone, please call 474-2427, and that is our 4-H office.
Great. Mike?
Get your goat. I like that idea.
Nah.
Joe?
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say after that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But hey, a lot happened this weekend.
Talk about sports.
A lot in a weekend recap, including the results of the Gold Panthers baseball games as they start their season on the road, and the tour of Fairbanks crowns a Fairbankson, plus a coaching change at West Valley High School. That and more coming up next. Hello, Interior sports fans. Joe Cook here, back in the Sportsy for you this evening. Another weekend just passed, so that means it's another weekend recap. Over the weekend, the Alaska Gold Panthers opened their season on the road in the Barona Bash tournament in the Lakeside, California area. The first game of the season against the Oceanside Waves on Friday ended in a peculiar 2-2 tie. The umps called the game at the end of the ninth inning. Saturday's game with the Barona Stars resulted in an 8-1 win for the Gold Panthers. The Panthers wrapped up their California road trip with a 6-1 victory over the San Diego Force. In the win, Fairbanks produced 14 hits. David Fletcher, a senior out of California Cypress Prep, went 2 of 4, 2 RBIs, and had 3 stolen bases to lead Fairbanks. Dylan Brock, a 34th round pick of the Milwaukee Brewers, went 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI for Fairbanks. The Gold Panthers continued their long road trip to start the season with 4 more road games. This Tuesday, they will face the Chugiak Chinooks on Loretta French Field. On Wednesday, they play at the Anchorage Bucks. And then on Thursday, they face the Matsu Miners in Palmer. On Friday, a final road game is against the Bucks in a non-league game. The Gold Panthers' first home game isn't until Sunday, the 16th, against the Fairbanks Brewers. The Tour of Fairbanks cycling event concluded on Sunday with Tyson the Hammer Flaherty of Fairbanks winning his second Tour of Fairbanks crown. This video here is from Stage 2 Friday evening at the North Pole Speedway. Flaherty, who raced for the Goldstream Sports team, came in a close second for this stage to Richard Tilton of Calladay Subway, but had great wins in Thursday's hill climb and the time trial on the Stee's Highway on Saturday morning to have the overall lead. Flaherty kept pace with the other front runners on Sunday with a 5th place finish on the 5th stage. Flaherty completed the 5-stage Tour of Fairbanks in 7 hours, 30 minutes, and 43 seconds. The runner-up, John Sundell, cycling for the Chain Reaction team out of Anchorage, was 1 minute and 44 seconds behind. Cheryl Lone, cycling for the Calladay Subway team out of Anchorage, was the women's overall winner. Elizabeth Thurston Hicks of the Cala Bike Law team won the 2nd stage and was the top sprinter in the women's field, and also earned the Queen of the Hill award for her climbing feats. Tilton, who won the 2nd stage at the Speedway, was the sprint champion, and James Stoll was king of the mountain.
It's really who's got the most left on the last day, because there's some really big hills and a lot of good competition from Anchorage and a couple of guys from Fairbanks, and yeah, it's good to represent when the out-of-towners get here.
I raced an awful lot in Colorado. I moved to Fairbanks a year ago and enjoyed participating in the Fairbanks races, and hope to head down for the Tour of Anchorage later this year.
And now to some running. 14-year-old Keel Simon was the first place winner in Sunday's annual 5 and 10K run sponsored by Lulu's Bread and Bagels Bakehouse, located in West Fairbanks. Simon, who will be running for the West Valley Wolfpack in the fall, is an avid runner who has finished near the top in a number of local races. Participants in the Bagel Run ran a flat 5K course, but not so much for the 10K, which had hills that climbed up to Chena Goldstream Fire Department, then descended through neighborhoods and trails to the start and finish line. Football season won't be in full swing for a couple of months, but the winds of change never take time off. After just 1 year, a new football coach will run the program at West Valley High School. Kyle Allison steps into the head coach's spot after the sudden departure of now former coach John Patterson. Now it's unknown just why Patterson stepped down, but Darrell Lewis caught up with West Valley Athletic Director Missy Paschel, who says departing was amicable and that Patterson will remain at the school in his other duties. Allison, who was an offensive coordinator for the Valley Boys and the 2003 West Valley graduate, and he also played quarterback for the West Valley football team. He says he's happy to be moving up and giving back to his alma mater.
It's awesome, I think everybody could, had the opportunity to come back and play for the alma mater, they would definitely do it, and I'm definitely loving it right now. So, and it kind of allows you to already have that ice broken, with them, and being able to just be part of the team and letting them know, I'm just one of the guys still, and they don't have to see a new face come through the door.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVF Sports, we're on Twitter, YouTube, our app, and of course, webcenter11.com. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back to Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at the weather. And first of all, I want to say, do the mosquitoes have any value at all? I'm just trying to figure it out because I'm just so tired of fighting these guys left and right. Anyway, our photograph for tonight sent in by Leland Day, raising the big flag down there in North Pole. If you have not seen this American flag, you've got to see it. It's definitely the biggest flag in Alaska, and probably one of the biggest in the lower 48 too. That thing is huge. Look at all the people raising it. Again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. And by the way, this week is Flag Week, so honor the flag every chance you get. Here's what's going on at the airport right now. 63 was our high today, 59 currently. The low last night, 50 degrees. Record high, almost 90 degrees in 1957, down to 29 in 1918. Sunrise at 3:08. Sunsets 12:37. That works out to 21 hours and 27 minutes. That's a gain of 4.5 minutes from yesterday. What's going on in the satellite picture? Well, this is all the cloudiness that was moving through earlier today. Now high pressure once again is starting to build in. That means the temperatures will get warmer and the skies will begin clearing out too. But right now, still some showers moving across southeast Alaska. On our big map, as you can see here, we're looking at, the clouds have basically moved out of southeast Alaska. That's a good sign. 65 degrees down there. 71 at Juneau. 76 in Anchorage. How about that? Temperatures over the 50s and 60s over the southwest portion of the state, and cloudy skies to the north at Nome, Barrow, and Fort Yukon. Okay, lower 48 weather tonight. We'll start off and show you over the Pacific Northwest, looking at rain shower activity around the Seattle area. 100 degrees in Salt Lake City, not quite 100 degrees in Denver, so that's where the warm air is at. A few thunderstorms around New Orleans and over the northeast. On our satellite and radar, you can see a lot of moisture still hanging around the northeast, bringing more rain up and down the eastern seaboard, which is something they don't need. And with the afternoon heating, we're getting showers and thunderstorms building off of the eastern slopes of the Rockies. The overall jet stream for later on this week showing once again way up to the north, which means hot temperatures covering a large portion of the southwestern part of the country, spreading slowly eastward. So look for some temperatures in the over 100-degree mark in much of Texas, Kansas, and places like that. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern section. Fog and showers in Nome, some clouds in Barrow, mostly sunny skies for Fort Yukon. Over the interior sections, looking at scattered clouds at both Healy and Fairbanks, 70 for the high in Fairbanks tomorrow. Over southeast Alaska, lots of sunshine for Juneau and Ketchikan. Temperatures rising very nicely there. And out to the southwest, partly to mostly cloudy skies at Bethel and Cold Bay, with sunny skies at Kodiak Island. South central regions looking pretty good too. It's mostly sunny skies for Anchorage, Homer, and Valdez. Okay, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. We're looking at 46 for the overnight low, continued overcast skies. And tomorrow's forecast looks even better. Decreasing clouds through the day, a high of 70 degrees. Could be even a little warmer than that. But it's definitely going to warm up on our 5-day outlook. Look at the temperatures rising to the low to mid 80s by Saturday and Sunday, 84 and 85 degrees. And the overnight lows will also rise to around 50 degrees, which means the temperature is warming up. Maybe that means the mosquitoes will be leaving. I'm hoping so. Warm temperatures. Other than that, it was kind of a windy weekend.
Yeah, would you like an answer to your question?
I would.
Are mosquitoes worth anything?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing, exactly.
Nothing.
If you have a good mosquito repellent, send it to me, Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com.
If you have a better answer, call us.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever
Let's
works.
not go into
that. Go Josue's commercial again. I use off.
That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the hunt for the man who leaked secret documents on America's surveillance program. That's next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week or online at any time at webcenter11.com.
And with that, we'll say from all of us here at the News Center, have a good night, everyone. We'll see you back here at 11.
And we won't leave you with mosquitoes.
That's right.